Hello gays. As we round out the year here and make our way into 2018, I wanted to introduce something to my channel that I haven't talked about on here yet, which is the fact that I identify as non-binary. What? No! How can they identify as non-binary and lesbian? I followed her because I wanted her lesbian content, and now she's becoming one of those gender fluid millennials that I don't understand. Deal with it. Yeah, I identify as non-binary, and it's something I've actually avoided talking about on here because of that, and because I had a lot of negative reactions to the video I put out that I think is titled something like, "Can trans women identify as lesbians?" And spoiler alert, the answer is yes, they can. And I was sort of given this view into this clashing of worlds between a part of the lesbian community that really feels strongly that they're very transphobic, and they don't think that trans people can identify as queer, and they think that trans women identifying as lesbians are just men pretending to be women so they can fuck lesbians. And I don't know, it's this whole fucked up thing that I was like, whoa, I had no idea people felt this way, especially in the gay community. I had no idea lesbian and gay people could be so vehemently unaccepting of trans people. It's just craziness. Trans people like started the LGBT movement. It's just crazy to me. But anyway, so I had this reaction to that video that was very negative, and I was like, whoa, fuck, well, I better not tell them that I identify as non-binary, but I don't give a shit. And so going into 2018, something that I want to talk about more on my channel is sort of how I deal with those two identities, identifying as lesbian, which we know is a word that we've taken to mean a woman who's attracted to another woman. So how can I identify as non-binary, which is neither identifying as a man or woman, and still also identify as lesbian? That's a video for another time, and it's a video that I will make. But your questions are valid, and I understand why it's confusing. But for now, all you need to know is the validation is that I'm here, and that's how I identify, and yeah, that's good enough for me. Sometimes I get confused about it, and I'm like, fuck, really? Can I use all these words? Like, can I identify this way? Then I'm like, whoa, Kat, calm down. You can exist in any way you want to, and it doesn't matter. Which brings me to my topic for today's video, which is pronouns. A lot of non-binary people find comfort in they/them pronouns. A lot of people who, you know, were born with given the female identity and were born with a female body, or whatever, grow up and they realize they're not non-binary and they want to use male pronouns because they really, you know, they don't want to be identified as she, her, because they were grown up this whole way and then they realize it's not how they feel and they want to be on the total opposite end of the spectrum, and etc, etc. But for me, personally, this is just a disclaimer because I know I'm going to get messages like, how dare you say that non-binary people shouldn't care about their pronouns. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I personally don't care what pronouns people use. I will 100 trillion billion% respect someone's pronouns. If someone comes up to me and says, hi, I'm Ren and I use he, him pronouns, great, that's what I'll call you then. Like, I don't care. And you're perfectly valid, and like, of course people should call you what you want to be called. My problem is, I don't know what I want to be called. So for me, it's like, well, I don't really find home in she, I don't really find home in he, I don't really feel comfortable with them. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be so stuck on this because it doesn't really matter to me. And also, I think a reason that I avoid getting really like, oh, this is my pronoun and this is what you'll call me, which again, is totally valid for you to feel like, because people should call you what you want to be called. But the reason for me, I don't really get all up in arms about choosing one and like really making sure people know what it is because I work in a job where I interact with like 2,000 people in the span of half an hour. It's like it doesn't matter what it is, but it's constantly like, hello miss, can you help me, excuse me ma'am, oh go get that girl over there, maybe she can show us, you know, like that kind of thing. It's constant gendering, and if it became a triggering thing for me to hear she and her in association with myself, it would just be like, it would be a nightmare. It would be impossible to work the way I do, to even live in New York where you constantly are interacting with people, you're constantly ordering food, or saying excuse me, or people are coming up to you and asking you things. Like, it's literally like, excuse me, miss, excuse me, thank you, ma'am, here you go, miss, have a nice day, ladies. Like, if it became a thing for me to have an issue hearing that, my life would just be impossible. It would be a nightmare. And I really feel for people that for them it is important to be called a certain pronoun, and they have to go through that every day, because I can't even imagine how triggering and how exhausting that must be. So for you, I am truly sorry. Not like in a condescending way, I'm just saying I feel for you, and that sucks. That's so hard. You're awesome, and keep on keeping on. But for me, it's just not a world that I want to jump into. It's not a battle that I want to fight. So I'm just kind of like, I don't care. Like, I identify as non-binary. My friends and people who respect me and know me closely know that I do, and they're all cool with it. And I tell them, like, because they're so, you know, they're great. What pronouns do you want to use? What should I call you? And I'm like, honestly, I don't care. It's fun when people use he, him pronouns. It's fun when people use they, them pronouns, because I like when people shake it up. But I think for me, like, I can't get too stuck on one thing or else I'll go crazy. So it's easier just to be really loose about it and be fluid with my pronouns, because it just, for me, I don't feel strongly enough attached to one thing or the other to be like, this is my pronoun and this is what I want you to use. Maybe someday I will. Maybe someday I'll like be on testosterone and use he, him pronouns. I don't know. Probably not. But what I'm saying is, I have no idea. And so much has changed in this last year of my life about how I identify and how I see myself, that it's like, oh my god, where will I be this time next year? Who knows? But yeah, that's just sort of something I wanted to talk about today, because I feel like for me, when I was growing up, YouTube was really important in me discovering myself and learning about the gay community, and it was a really great outlet for me. And I know that there are still kids growing up today where the only place they can turn is YouTube. So if you're young and you're gay and you identify as non-binary and you're feeling this way, just know that, like, you don't have to be like super set on what you want to be called. It's not, you can be fluid with it. Like, it's okay to let things roll off your back, and like, it doesn't have to be this super strict thing that you have to decide right now. Sometimes it's alright just to say, I don't care. And that's just my personality too. It's easier for me to deal with things looking at it from that perspective. Also, something for me that I have to be careful about is, I know this to be true about me, is that there is internalized misogyny inside of me. So when I'm like, ooh, don't call me she, her, I kind of have to take a step back and be like, wait, do I not want people to use female pronouns for me because I think less of female people, because I have internalized misogyny? And I'm not saying that's true for all non-binary people or like trans men or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for me personally, I know I have that issue, and it's important for me to take a step back and say, like, whoa, wait, why do I not want to be called female? Is it because I think less of female people? And so that's also something that's sort of all wrapped in there for myself. And it's something that I have to be aware of. So, but yeah, for me, you can call me she, you can call me he, you can call me they. It's all cool, dude. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about today, and to say that going into 2018, gender stuff and my identity as a lesbian and my identity as a non-binary person and how those things connect, and it's just something that I'm going to be talking about on this channel. And so if you don't like it, well then, unsubscribe. I'm gonna watch me lose like 100 subscribers, but you know, it is what it is. It's just who I am, and it's something that I want to bring to this channel. So, along with my lesbian mini histories, which you're getting one next week, it's gonna be about drag kings. Get excited. Gets excited. But I am gonna continue to script those videos. Don't worry, they won't be rambly like these ones. But yeah, going into the future, gender stuff is stuff I want to talk about more. I'll continue to do my lesbian mini histories, and you'll continue to get some performance videos from me here and there. I have something coming up in February, and you'll get a video from that performance. So yeah, that's what you can look forward to here on this space. And thank you for dealing with the rambliness of this. I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit and put a video out there, and yeah. In the description below, you'll find my Instagram handle. You can follow me on there. And I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I hope you have a great New Year's, and I will see you here next time on this channel here in this space. All right, goodbye. surprise, it's not over yet. I just wanted to say, I'm watching it back now, and I was like, oh, fuck, that noise is, oh, she's like, bitch, why are you talking so loud right next to me while I'm sleeping? I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that noise throughout the entire video is my wonderful New York City steam heating. So sorry about that constant sound throughout the background of the video. And also, rewatching this made me think of a really positive experience I had lately. I was in rehearsals for a reading of a new musical, and during the rehearsal process, the music director caught wind that I identified as non-binary, because the character that I was playing was non-binary, and he was like, oh shit, maybe I should deal with this rehearsal process differently. And so instead of referring to, all right, girls, now you sing, and all right, guys, now you sing, he started saying, all right, now I want the high voices to sing and I want the low voices to sing. So I just thought that was really nice and accommodating of him, to kind of say, oh, all right, we sort of have a different vibe going on in this room. We have someone who doesn't identify as male or female. Maybe I can help and make this a safe space for them by not gendering them every time I ask them to sing. And it was really cool, and it was really nice and different, and I think everyone felt like, because the show, like, had stuff about gender in it, and I think everyone really felt like, oh wow, this is what we should be aiming for. Like, people should be thinking, how can I do this differently to sort of fit this changing world? And it's something as simple as saying, all right, high voices, you come in here, instead of saying, all right, ladies, you come in here. It was just cool, and that was a nice experience that I had recently. Sorry to tack on an extra 2 minutes at the end of this video, but yes, 1, that noise was my steam heating, and 2, that's just a fun little story that this video made me think of. So, goodbye for real this time, and again, apologies to my sleeping cat for waking her up by screaming next to her face into my laptop.